What's going on, guys? Coaster Caleb. I'm back finally with another video. It's been a while. In my last video, I made a top 10 list, and at the end of it, I said the next video would be very personal, and here is that personal video. I wanted to discuss how I became a coaster enthusiast because it's something all coaster enthusiasts talk about, but I don't see a lot of coaster enthusiasts making singular, dedicated videos to their journey of becoming a coaster enthusiast, and I thought it would be really cool to share mine. My hair is actually crazy today, but we're just gonna power through. To tell this story in the best way possible, I should probably just start from the beginning. That would make sense. And as a kid, growing up, I actually hated roller coasters. I was really scared of roller coasters, and even when I would ride roller coasters, I'd be holding on for dear life, screaming, thinking I'm gonna die. Now, this is mostly because I was a dumb kid who didn't know any better and liked my feet being planted solidly on flat ground. What especially scared me as a kid was height and inversions, two things I did not want to have anything to do with. However, over time I slowly worked that fear down, going on my first hyper coaster in middle school, Sky Rush, and my first inverted coaster in high school, Hydra at Dorney Park. Yes, I went on one of the most intense hyper coasters in the world before going on a basic floorless coaster. Like I said, I was a dumb child. But even after high school and going into college, I still had a lot of fears about roller coasters. For example, I wasn't a big fan of the vertical lift hills. Those scared me, and launch coasters looked really terrifying as well. What finally helped me shift my opinion and start to become a bigger fan of roller coasters was actually watching roller coaster YouTubers who I only found because I was searching on YouTube how safe are roller coasters, and I found all these different coaster enthusiast channels defending the safety of roller coasters and building them up as these very safe, fun, and entertaining attractions. I also think finding the coaster community on YouTube helped turn me into a coaster enthusiast, as a lot of the creators I found made just really cool content that I loved watching daily. I actually want to shout out some of those coaster enthusiast channels because they inspired me to make my channel. It's very likely that if you're into roller coasters, you're already subscribed to these channels, but if not, please check them out. I'm only listing a couple channels in this video, but if you want to see all of my inspirations and just good coaster channels, my subscription list will always be public. To name a few of the channels that really inspired me to make my channel, there's Defunct Land, Airtime Thrills, CoasterBot, Coaster Studios, El Toro Orion, and finally, while they aren't a coaster channel per se, they've made amusement park documentaries, and that channel is Bright Sun Films. They're really cool, make really good videos both within and outside of the coaster world. But like I said, check all those channels out if you aren't already, and if you want more suggestions from me, just look at my subscriptions. What I think finally pushed me into the world of coaster enthusiasm, and when I could finally call myself a coaster enthusiast, was this year, which honestly is kind of the worst time to become a coaster enthusiast during a global pandemic when many parks are closed and you can't really travel. But what made this year significant is I finally made a credits list, and I bought a season pass to my home park, Hershey Park. While I'm not saying that things like a credits list and a season pass are requirements for becoming a coaster enthusiast, I'm just listing them as steps I took to become a coaster enthusiast, and now I officially consider myself one. I only make that little side comment because I don't want to come across as trying to gatekeep the coaster community, especially as someone who just joined it. I don't think that way. I think everyone and anyone can be a coaster enthusiast no matter what you do. I mean, for example, even though my credits list is very small, I still consider myself a coaster enthusiast, and I plan to hopefully expand it in the future, which would be a lot of fun. And that perfectly segues into the final topic I had written down for this video, which is exactly that: my plans for the future. To put it simply, I want to visit more amusement parks, ride a ton of new coasters, and just expand my knowledge and my experience because, fun fact, I've never been to an amusement park outside of the state of Pennsylvania. However, there are some more specific things on my bucket list I'll get into. For example, there are a lot of parks and roller coasters I've never been on in my bucket list, and I actually have considered making videos about all of the amusement parks on my bucket list and all of the roller coasters on my bucket list. If you would like to see those, let me know in the comments and I can easily make them. Furthermore, I've never been on an RMC. That's probably at the top of my bucket list, and it's something that still hurts me inside. I've also never been on a Giga coaster or a Strata coaster, so there are a ton of things I would love to finally cross off on my coaster enthusiast bucket list. And a final thing I would love to do in the future, the most ambitious plan I have for the future, is to do a coaster road trip on the entire eastern half of America. The way I envision it would be starting where I'm at in Pennsylvania, which is kind of the northeast coast, going over to the Midwest, down to the south, back over to the East Coast in Florida, and then travel up the East Coast back to Pennsylvania. knocking out all the important parks on the way. This is somewhat of a pipe dream as I'm a college student who's financially destitute, but it's a dream of mine and hopefully one I can achieve in the future. Anyways, that pretty much wraps up this short video. While I know this video is more about me and less about the coasters, I promise that won't be a trend in the future. Most of my videos are going to be centered around roller coasters. However, I thought it would be interesting to talk about my fear of roller coasters growing up, overcoming that fear, and finally becoming a coaster enthusiast. Hopefully you all enjoyed it. If you did, a subscription is always appreciated. It would mean a lot to me. I'm going to be making a ton of coaster content in the future, and I have a lot of video ideas. It helps that this is a new channel and I haven't really made any videos yet, so anything I do is going to be new and original for me, but I have a ton of ideas. I'm really excited. So until then, have a lovely day. I will try to as well, and I'll see you all in the next video. Peace.